I'm not sure.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This is day number 1 of the show, and we are here in the TimberTrail E-Bikes booth, and I'm with one of the men who make the magic happen here at TimberTrail, Mr. Bruce Ulrich, a personal, lifelong friend of mine, great man. And Bruce, thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing us here with you. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes TimberTrail E-Bikes so great?
Well, basically, to start off, all of our bikes are all-wheel drive bikes, 2-wheel drive. They will run either on 1 wheel or 2-wheel, basically on a on-demand switch. Just flip the switch and it'll go from rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive. The bikes are extremely well made, super high quality, from the beginning of it to the end of it. Everything on our bike is absolutely the best that we can possibly put on it. There's no better quality in any part of our bike.
Awesome. I've personally had a chance to actually put my big butt on one of those bikes, and 35 miles an hour. Man, I was 300 pounds at 35 miles an hour. That's like a huge gorilla riding a piece of little that's lightweight for somebody my size. Yep. But 35 miles an hour is what that thing carries my behind on.
Very lightweight, very powerful. These bikes are made for the outdoorsman at heart. They are made, for the hunter, the guy that wants to go in the woods, go down in the bottoms, cross the creeks, through the mud, use it in the snow, put a deer on a cart, pull that thing anywhere you want to go. Right. I personally, as an outfitter, I had an outfitting operation for 20 years of my life in West Central Illinois. I was pulling 300, 350 pound bucks out of the woods with these things without any problem at all.
That's crazy. I mean, seriously, I'm not gonna lie. People know. I mean, they've heard me talk about it plenty of times. I've never been a huge, what you would call an electric type person. I'm more of the horsepower. You know what I mean?
Right.
But man, these things made a real believer out of me. When you told me about them at first, I was real skeptical and I was hesitant, but putting my behind on the seat and then riding it made a huge believer out of me.
Well, normally, as you and I speak with a bike, we talk about our Harley Davidson.
Right.
But, here in this case, it definitely has its uses in the outdoors, without a doubt, and so many different things, that it's capable of doing.
Right. How about we take a minute and we'll just go over a couple of the features, let the people at home see what makes this thing happen. So
basically, all you do is just boot it up, turn it on. The bike will come on, screen will pop up, tell you everything about the bike. Now, you can run these things on a pedal assist, and basically what that does, every half a turn of the pedal, the bike will turn power to the rear motor. So as you turn it, it'll shoot a shot of power, whether it's stronger or weaker depending on how fast you want to go. And that's fine, for just riding along, maybe on down the street or whatever it might be. And you will save, a little bit of battery doing that. But otherwise, you can run the bike in either rear-wheel drive only, or if you can basically just flip this switch, and then it'll run both wheels at the same time. And that's where you're getting your maximum power, because we're here on this bike, there's a 750 watt rear motor and a 750 watt front motor. On that bike, which is the Monster, that's the one that you had, there's a 1,000 watt rear motor and a 750 watt front motor. So when you kick that front motor in, it's basically doubling your power.
Gotcha. So that creates all the torque and everything.
Yeah, and of course on top of it, it's like having a 4-wheel drive 4-wheeler. When you put it to 4-wheel drive, now you have the extra traction. But the beauty of this is, whereas like a 4-wheeler or gas powered, you're not gaining extra power. With this, you're actually adding extra power because you're engaging that front motor and the extra 750 watts.
That makes sense. So, me from Delaware, a flat land. Most of the land down there, you know, you've been down there with me plenty of times. Most of the land is flat. And here in Pennsylvania, how do these things do on hills and rocky stuff?
My house has a 30-degree, 35-degree driveway. It's no fun in the wintertime, to say the least. But these bikes will go up the driveway without any problem.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure most electrics that they're going to bog down.
Right. They won't make another electric bike won't make it.
And that's amazing.
It does not have the power to.
That's awesome. And pulling deer out of the woods, like going through the. How about going over debris? Like if you're in a scenario, which we did the video in the past, where we took a clip that you know when you brought that deer out of the woods. Explain how that is, like getting it into the woods. I mean, how hard is it to set it up to a cart or an accessory?
The cart, basically all it is just it's two hitches that attach to the frame, and there's posts that stick out. Then there's kind of, it almost reminds you like a field goal post looking thing that goes around the back tire.
Okay, yeah.
The reason we do it this way, it keeps everything low center of gravity. What happens when a lot of these other companies are trying to hook up bikes and they're hooking up at a high center of gravity? Well, that's fine and dandy if you're on flat and you're not making any turns and braking.
Okay.
As soon as you're going downhill and that cart is pushing you, as soon as you go to turn, that cart will continue to push because the weight keeps moving forward.
Right.
So what will happen with the high center of gravity, it'll push you over. It becomes very dangerous. With the low center of gravity, it keeps you safe, and you don't have that loss of balance.
Right. Okay.
When that 300-pound deer or bear or whatever it is that you have on that cart, when that's pushing forward, it keeps everything low center of gravity, and it does keep you a lot safer in that circumstance. But yet also the way our system's designed, it's fully articulated. So you will get the up and down motion here, and then it's not like a fixed where those two posts join that cross member.
Right.
It's what it is. It's loose, so it'll actually make that cart so you'll flop up and down. So if you're driving along and per se you hit a hole and you got a 300-pound deer or a bear, on that cart, you hit that hole, you won't feel it because the cart is absorbing everything.
All that.
And then you get your right and left motion or the cart attaches. So it gives full articulation. You don't even know that it's back there. Basically, ride along, it keeps you safe. You don't have to worry about what that cart's doing. It's doing its own thing.
So the cart can also be utilized for things such as, like, say if guys have got feeders set up. If
Absolutely. I have guys doing that. Yeah, they're using them for their coon dogs or whatever. They got to get to wherever. Then they have the cage.
You can mount a kennel right on.
Absolutely.
Right on the
they mount cages right to the cart. Absolutely.
Now, what other set do you have? I know that you have the cart, and I know that you have. Is it one for holding the tree stand? You got a tree stand holder?
We actually have an accessory rack that attaches to the existing rack that comes with the bike. It attaches, it'll stand upward or flat. Now, if you're going to put a tree stand on it, there's tree stand posts that come off of the back. So basically what that's for is you can just hang the stand and then put a little strap and strap it down. And then, of course, the big rack, you can put your day bag, your backpack, or whatever it might be on that, on that rack.
One of the big things for me, and I know I told you this when we talked, one-on-one. And this is off camera. I'm letting you all behind the scenes. Pulling the curtain back, so to speak. I told you, I said, look, love the bikes. One of the biggest things that I was finding I was having a problem with, for me, because I had a back injury, what happened to my spine.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was like, man, I wish we had a better seat. Do you have a seat available?
We can get better seats.
So it's a possibility.
Yes, but do understand, and maybe this is not what I should be telling customers, but I'm trying to save my customers money. They can go Amazon, whatever it might be, and
that's a good businessman.
They can actually, buy a seat on Amazon less than what I'm paying for it. Okay. So, why would I charge them extra money when they can get the seat and some of those accessories?
Very respectable. I mean, honestly, it's good being honest. I mean, I've always loved that about you. You're always a very straight shooter, and I get that. So But in other words, just another bicycle seat will work, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Interchangeable.
Yeah, basically the way they're designed, as long as they have this rail system under the seat, it'll work perfectly fine because it'll attach to the existing post. That comes with the bike.
Well, my next question, and I'm full of questions today. You know, I love to talk. Everybody knows that.
No, Lance,
but
don't.
I love to talk.
We wouldn't have known.
Really?
No,
you made me feel
I
so
was
good
fooled.
today.
I was fooled for all these years, Lance. Until now. Now you
My,
came.
you know, my wife says that.
Now you came forward.
My wife says I fool her all the time. Yeah, I won't go no further than that. But one of the things I want to talk about is battery life. How long can it go on a charge?
Depends again on how you run it. I mean, I'll give you an example here at the show. I could drive this thing around the show all week and put 65 miles on a charge. Keep in mind when you're using it in a normal basis, in a hunting scenario per se, 25 miles, basically, 25, 30
that's
miles.
actual terrain, hunting, up and down.
Yep, exactly.
Makes sense.
Pulling a deer or whatever out of the woods, so in an average hunt scenario, you're looking 25, maybe 30 miles.
But I'm just thinking, you know, the great thing about them is you can pull them batteries off.
Absolutely.
You can charge it without it being attached to the bike.
You know, and I'll give you an example. Like in the wintertime, I tell the guys, pull the battery out, keep the battery warm. You can put the bike in the shed. It's fine. It won't hurt anything being
It's
being
a bike,
cold.
really.
It's just a bike. But the battery, I do tell everybody, listen, take them in the warm. Once a month, just plug them into the charger. Very little problems will you ever have to worry about with that ion lithium battery. And the cells, they are the good quality cells. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. A battery is not created equal. Your cheaper Chinese cells is definitely a problem with these e-bikes. What happens? A lot of these manufacturers, they'll use a cheaper battery, and it's cheaper, and yes, less expensive. Where with ours, we're using the higher quality cells, and the longevity of the battery. Two things. Number one, the longevity in travel with the bike is greater, but then also the longevity of the life of the battery is much greater as well.
Understood. Your fenders, stuff like that. What is the bike made out of? As far as what gives it that lightweight? How are you able to achieve such a lightweight
Our bike is made all out of 6061 T6 extrusion. It's all aircraft extrusion. Very light, very strong. The PSI ratings are extensively high. The structure of this frame is of excessive quality, to say the least.
Absolutely.
And it should be, being that we're using it the way we are. We're not just taking this thing to the boardwalk and driving up and down the boardwalk with it. This bike is made to go off the beaten path, roads less traveled, and use it in whatever way, whether it's a hunting scenario or just going in the outdoors and enjoying the outdoors, and use it and abuse it. It'll take what you put it through.
It gets that out there.
Yeah.
And as far as warranty.
There's a 1-year warranty complete.
Okay. And that's on the battery?
Everything complete,
okay.
Yep.
So we got a 1-year complete warranty on the whole setup. Mm-hmm. Good deal.
And we repair and build all of our own bikes. So with that being said, when something goes wrong, it's not a $4,000 boat anchor like some of the other e-bikes in the industry.
Right.
Most of the other e-bikes in the industry, that's the case. With ours, that's not the case at all.
Very cool. Well, Bruce, my brother, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with me.
Well,
had me here in your booth to make your booth unattractive.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You make us look good, Lance.
No, I don't. Don't lie.
You make me look good.
How do I make you look good? I'm ugly.
That's my point.
I'm a little slow this morning. Either way, brother, I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lance. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you do. And I got to tell you, this guy, 110%. I'm gonna do it, Lance.
No,
I gotta tell him, man. He's gonna get all embarrassed. He's gonna be all red-faced here, but I have to tell you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I have been friends with this man for plus 20 years. He's never done me wrong. He is straight up. He's a straight shooter. He's as honest as can possibly be. He and his wife both are some of the greatest people, sincerely, that I have ever met in my entire life. Wow. He's not a friend. He's a brother. There's absolutely nothing I wouldn't do for Lance. So I'm saying,
wow,
put your faith, put your trust in Lance and his wife. They won't steer you wrong.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm not used to somebody saying that about me, you know what I mean?
But well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
You're very deserving.
I love you. I love you. Really do. And I hope you saw 100 of these things at this show.
Well, so do we, bud.
We are here from, today's the 3rd, right? I got the date right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Saturday, February.
Right.
Did I say February 3rd?
You did. You said December. You said September.
It's that food I ate.
Originally.
I told you. It's that food.
Yeah, but it is February.
I was thinking about hunting season, why I said September. Either way, February 3rd, Saturday, opening day of the Great American Outdoor Show here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the Farm Complex. Come see Bruce at booth number 4219, the TimberTrail E-Bikes booth. You can talk to Bruce, you can talk to his business partner Brian, Bryce, the whole gang is here. Come see them. We're running some deals, some specials.
We are.
Are we running some? Cool.
We are. Yep.
Come talk to him and get some cool show specials that you're not going to get anywhere else. So
I think we've covered it.
All right. Well, let's go look at some other stuff, and then we'll be getting back to you here in just a little bit.
God bless you all.
Yes. God bless you all.